Good evening, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Hector Dominguez. I'm here on behalf of the Cook County Assessor's Office. If you're with us here tonight, I just want to thank you. You literally could be anywhere else in the world, but you're here with us. So I really appreciate you guys spending your dinner hour, your dinner time, your family time with me. I really appreciate it. We have a couple different things today. We're going to be talking about Orland Township appeals with a special guest who's going to join the show in a couple minutes. So I don't want to, bring up any false excitement. So we're just going to wait till he shows up. But we have a special guest for you all tonight. But before we do any of that, some house rules. If you have any questions, please, we're going to have a Q&A session. Q&A section at the very end of this video. So please go ahead and write your question into the comment section, into the Q&A portion. If you're like me and you're scared you're going to forget, just go ahead and write it down now. I promise the Q&A will answer any and all questions that we have. So without any further ado, let us begin. Let me share my screen. Beautiful. So if you're here today, we're going to be talking about Orland Township appeals. Orland Township does have its own assessor, but the Cook County assessor is assessor for its case. So your Orland Township assessor is kind of like the middleman, the liaison between our office and you all as the taxpayer. So what are we here for today? We are here today because you are trying to file an appeal. Wonderful. Beautiful. Let's do it. Your deadline to file your appeal is going to be Monday, June 26th. I'm going to say that again. Your deadline to file your appeal is Monday, June 26th. Now, there are multiple different reasons why someone will file an appeal. I'm going to go over three of the most common right now. So the first one is lack of uniformity. That just means that just means myself and you, we live on the same block. House built by the same person, same size, same color, same blueprint, same everything. But for whatever reason, our values are different, which probably means our tax bills are different, and I want to know why, right? The next one is overvaluation. That's probably everybody here. There's no way my house is worth this much. If my house was worth this much, I would sell it to you back right now, right? And then the third reason is incorrect property description, also known as property description error. That just means our office has a factual error wrong with your property. So that means our office says your property has 3,000 square feet, but it really only has 1,200. Or our office says you have a building with 6 apartments or less, but you really have a single family home, right? There's a factual error. This is what is called a reassessment notice. This reassessment notice is not a tax bill. Not a tax bill. It is not a tax bill. This just lets you know what our office believes your property is currently worth. Here, you'll see your estimated market value. You'll see your PIN number, your neighborhood code, your assessment, all of those little things that are very important, right? If you go to our website, cookcountyassessor.com, you definitely want to use our website as a way to kind of check your property. You can see your square footage, your construction type, your garage style. Sorry. If you're a single story, a 2-story, kind of like how the property is being used, you can do all of that here. If your values are within 10% of what the medians are, we're going to be talking about that in a little bit. Can you still appeal? Absolutely. Will you receive a reduction? I'm not sure. However, if your values are way different, not even close to what medians are, you absolutely want to appeal. So what is the appeal process? First, you get your reassessment notice, which is what we were just talking about. It's the white document that some might believe is the tax bill, but it is not. You submit appeal along with your reasoning why you are appealing. After you do that, an analyst will then review your work. They will say, you know what, this person presented these facts, and we're going to lower their assessed value, or we're not. Regardless, you're going to receive a decision letter. That decision letter is going to say, congratulations, we're going to lower your value by such and such amount. Or it's going to say, sorry, due to the uniformity of the neighborhood, we are not going to lower your value. Regardless, good or bad, you are going to receive a a decision letter in the mail. So how do we start the appeals? Very easily. You will go to Cook County Assessor. You will go to cookcountyassessor.com, and then you can start your appeal by clicking on the word appeals, or you can go to cookcountyassessor.com/online-appeals, and then you can start your appeal. You can save your appeal. You can edit your appeal. You can do all of those different things from the comfort of your house, from your sofa, from your bed, from wherever you want to do this work at. You can submit additional documentation, supporting documentation, all that. All this is free as well. This is a free service provided by our office. We just want you all to remember that June 26, 2023, which is a Monday, is the deadline for your appeals. So what I want to do before we continue, I want to go over some of the data that we have. Give me 1 second. And we are going to go over that. So Township, again, your deadline is June 26th. You guys are reassessed every 3 years. That means the last time you were reassessed was 2020. You can disregard this information down here. But 2020, you guys get 30 days to file your appeal. So we're definitely taking advantage of that right now. Here is some of the data for your specific township. You can find this information at cookcountyassessor.com/Orland-2023-residential. Someone in the chat will probably drop that link in there as well for you all to click on. But here's some of the data. So if you have a single family home in the Orland Township, the median value the assessed value, the market value is $357,000, right? And that's based on 28,049 different properties, homes, right? If you have a condo, the median for that is $204,000, and that's based on 7,600 different properties. And if you have a multi-family home, those values are $503,000, and that's based on 242 different homes. But what does that even mean, right? Like how do we figure this out? How do we make this make sense? Well, we have a tool. This is newish. It's about a year to 2 years old. On our website, same area, same place, cookcountyassessor.com/Orland-2023-residential. And I believe our special guest is here. So
yes,
here's what I will do.
I'm gonna go ahead and
bring
add
him in. Yes.
Hey everybody, good to see you.
Yes.
And I don't want to interrupt
How you doing, boss?
I don't want to interrupt the star of our show, Hector, who's a pro at this, but I did want to come to join everyone here from Orland Township and everyone else who's joining us. We have useful information on how to understand your assessments and then appeal them if you think we got them, if we were off the mark. And Hector is the expert on that. But I think he might have given you a little bit of information before I got here, and I don't want to repeat. But basically, our job at the assessor's office is to estimate the value of everyone's home as well as every other kind of property, so that the tax burden, which is actually not determined by us, which is determined by your school districts, by your local governments, so that can all be divided up amongst everyone in proportion to their share of assessed value. So what you want out of the assessor is to make sure that we're estimating everyone's property accurately, uniformly, based on good data and evidence, without having any preference, whether your home is modest or large, or if you have a big commercial property or a small one. So we're going to show you today some of that information. You can find a lot more on our website. And really, this is supposed to be a seminar where we're giving you useful information, but also we can give you a little bit more understanding. Hopefully you're with us here tonight on a beautiful day. We want to help you understand the system better, how it all fits together, because a lot of it is not obvious. Hector, I see that we're
boss,
right
so did
here.
You want me?
I think we should let you drive the presentation here, Hector, because you've started it and you've got the information there. Basically, we want you to see that this is just a taste of the information that we have about what's going on in Orland in your neighborhood to see how we came up with your value. Hector, take it away in terms of where these numbers are coming from, and I'm going to go into the background.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So here, cookcountyassessor.com/Orland-2023-residential. Here, you can actually go into the system and look up your specific neighborhood code, which is located on your reassessment notice. Now, when you put in your neighborhood code, you can kind of see all the areas around you in your specific neighborhood code, I should say, and those different kinds of values. So you can see kind of where you land within that range, right? So there are many different reasons why someone would want to appeal. And again, very quickly, for those of you who are just joining us, that's lack of uniformity, which means myself and you all live in the same spot, same area, same everything, but our values are different, which probably means our taxes are different. The next one is overvaluation, which means there's no way my house is worth this much. If my house was worth this much, I would sell it to you right now. And then lastly, incorrect property description or property description error, which means there's a factual error, like square footage is incorrect, or the description of the property is incorrect, or our office says it's a building with 6 apartments or less, but you really have a single family home, right? So now let's jump into filing your appeal. So what you would do, go to cookcountyassessor.com, hover over the word appeals and click on file online. Once you do that, direct it to here. Now, here's different types of appeals on right now. Well, what we're going to focus on today, I should say, is residential. So once you click on residential, you will have to create an account if you have never appealed before. So you would just click on create an account and go ahead and follow those prompts. It takes 2 seconds, and then you can log in. So I'm going to log in using happytaxpayer@gmail.com. Now from here, you'll have available filings, and at the very bottom, or towards the bottom, I should say, you'll have different types of appeals we can do. There's condo, there's industrial, but what we're talking about today is residential, which is this bottom one right here. Now you just click on begin filing. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I know that this can be intimidating. I know that this can be scary, but I promise you, once you're done with me today, you will be more confident, and I promise you, this will not be as scary as it kind of looks, right? So what you want to put your PIN number right away and click on search. Once you click on search, your information will auto-populate. That'll be the common theme throughout the night tonight. Things will just auto-populate for you. So just go ahead and double check it and make sure that it is correct. If it is not, you just edit it. From here, wherever you see a checkbox or a red star or asterisk, that is a task that you must complete in order to move forward with your appeal. So here, you can ignore Berwyn. That was just an event that we just did. But you can check on these 2 boxes and click next. From here, your information will auto-populate. If this is correct, just click next. From here, if you have a factual error, like a square footage issue, or sorry, or our office says you have a building with 6 apartments or less, but you really have a single family home, right? There's a factual error here. Just let us know. You can click on the year in question, so 2019, 2020, 21, or 22, of when these errors were committed, and then we can go in and try to fix those as well. If you don't have any errors, just click next. You can leave it blank. Now, here where it says additional PINs, this is for anyone who has a prorated property. That means you have a property that sits on 2 different lots, right? So this really only applies to people who receive more than 2 tax bills a year for the same property. So if you're receiving 4, 6, 8, this is you. We just need to know what are those extra PIN numbers. But for the most part, this isn't going to affect anybody watching this. Now, again, remember, wherever there's a star or a red asterisk, you want to complete that task. So here, we're on the filer section. Just go ahead and click. Click on the drop down and click taxpayer owner. I apologize. The next asterisk, taxpayer owner. This next asterisk, just click on the hamburger menu. That's what this is called. And click on your name. Very simple. Then the rest of this will auto-populate. but we will need your phone number and your email address so we can communicate with you if we need to. And then click next. From here, this will auto-populate for you. Again, just find your name, click next, and then we get to your property characteristic page. For the most part, no one's going to touch this page unless you know for a fact that your age is incorrect. If you know for a fact your construction is incorrect. If you know for a fact your number of bathrooms is incorrect. Sorry. This is where you would make those edits. But again, if you don't want to change anything, just click next. Now here is where it gets a little exciting, right? So our office says your property is worth X. We have a section here in the red, where the red arrow is, that lets you tell us what you believe your property is worth. And then the very next section is the reasons for appealing. So we've already gone over lack of uniformity, overvaluation, and property description error. But what about vacancy? That just means you have an empty property. Fire damage, self-explanatory. If you check fire damage, you will have to provide proof with police reports, fire reports, insurance, pictures, all of that. If you choose building is uninhabitable, that means you physically cannot live there. If you choose building no longer exists, that means building no longer exists. Now notice that with every reason you appeal, so you can check all of these if they apply, you just have to explain your reasoning. Why are you choosing overvaluation? Underneath there is a field check. From here, someone from our office will come out and actually redraw and remeasure your property. Do you have to pay for it? No. Do you have to schedule an appointment? No. Do we need to know your home? Sorry. No. Our office will go ahead and just take care of that for you. Now, underneath that section, we need to know what kind of property do you have? Do you have a single family home? Do you have a building with 6 apartments or less? Do you have a mixed use? Do you have a townhouse? Let us know what kind of property you have. And then you would click next. Now, comparables. This is about 90% of the questions we receive, right? So how do you find comparables? I'm going to teach you 3 different ways to do it right now. So first, this will be auto-populated for you. All you have to do is underneath this, it didn't fit on the page, but underneath this section, it just says find comparables. Just click that. And you have a list of comparables for you to go through and figure out which one you want to use. But let's say you have a specific one you want our office to look at. The guy across the street, you know for a fact, is the same size, same construction, same everything, and you want to use that one. Well, then that's what this bottom portion is for, this custom additional search criteria. This is where you can give us the specific pin to the guy across the street, or the address to the guy across the street. Whatever you want to give us for that specific pin number will go there. Once you pick that comparable, it will be populated here, and then you're just going to compare them. You're going to get a list that says, here's your primary, your property, and then here are the comparables. From here, if you want to continue, just click next. If you accidentally click the wrong one, just click previous and start it over. Very simple. Now, here's the third way you could submit comparables. You could have an Excel spreadsheet, you can have a Word document, whatever you want actually, and just upload it straight from your computer here. So what you got to do is click select files, find it on your computer, or maybe you're on your phone or you're somewhere else and you want to do that. Just find it wherever you are storing that information on whatever device you're using and just upload it there. You can also upload an appraisal, a sales analysis, pictures, whatever you want, you can submit here. Once you are done, you are at the submit section. Here we just need your name, your phone number, and your email address. Now, once you click submit, sorry, you will find a giant, are you sure you want to submit? Up until this point, you can stop, you can edit, you can revise, you can quit, you can put it away, you can come back tomorrow, whatever you want to do. But the moment you click yes, you're going to receive a confirmation page. This confirmation page is going to have your filing ID number. Save that number. Screenshot that number. Write that number down, whatever you need to do, so that when you have questions about your appeal, you can contact us using your filing ID number. Just remember, the results of your appeal are going to be snail mailed to you. That means it's actually going to come in the mail. If you want to check your property's exemption history or your appeal history or your assessment history or read about reassessments, you can go to cookcountyassessor.com. And I know this is an appeal workshop, but I do want to cover exemptions very quickly because we have some new policies, right? Some updated exemption information. So the exemptions in yellow, the homeowner, senior citizen, and persons with disability exemption is automatically renewed going forward. Now, the veterans with disability exemption and the home improvement exemption is automatically renewed going forward, but with special stipulations. What does that mean? That means there are different things that kind of need to happen in order for those to be automatically renewed going forward. If you have any questions about that, just scroll through our videos and find our exemption workshops. I go into super detail about this information there, but I know that's not what y'all are here for today. Y'all are here for an appeal. So this is what your tax bill looks like. You get 2 of these a year. You get a blue one when it is cold outside that doesn't have any discounts. And then you get a yellow one when it's warmer outside and it usually has your discounts on it. At the bottom left-hand corner where it says tax calculator, that's where your homeowner is listed, your senior citizen is listed, your senior freeze is listed. All of your discounts will be listed right there. Fun fact, that's how you can check if you received it or not last year as well, because it'll be listed there. Here is what a confirmation page would look like for when you are submitting an exemption. And this is what an email looks like. You'll kind of get this in about 48 hours after you submit your exemptions. Same thing with an appeal. It'll take a little bit longer, but this is what it would look like. It'll have your information. It'll have your filing ID, all of that. This is very important for you to save. If you want to connect with us directly, you can definitely contact us at 312-443-7550. You will have to put in your PIN number, and then you'll be directed to speak to a human. If you want to connect with us on social media, all you have to do is hover over this QR code with your phone, your camera, on your phone, your camera app. And once you click on it, you will be taken to our Linktree account. And from there, you can file exemptions, file appeals, sign up for our newsletter. You can kind of do all kinds of things. We are socially active, so you can find us on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, everywhere, right? Everywhere there's a digital platform, we are on LinkedIn, we are there, right? If you want to make an appointment, you can do so in person at the downtown location, 118 North Clark, at the Markham Courthouse location, 16501 South Kedzie, at the Skokie Courthouse location, 5600 West Old Orchard 5600 West Old Orchard Road, room 149, or at the newly remodeled and newly reopened Bridgeview Courthouse, 10220 South 6th Avenue, room 205, right up the escalator to the left. So now we're going to stop sharing. We're going to jump into the questions. So let's see what we have here. All right, so let's show. Lori says, will we have better success at getting an assessment lowered by hiring an attorney? Great question, Lori. Let's go. We got the boss in here. You want me to take this question for you, boss?
I can take it if you want to add anything, Hector. Just let me know.
Go ahead.
Great,
yes, sir.
Great question, Lori. The answer is actually there's no difference in the success rate between homeowners and individuals who don't use an attorney or a consultant and those who do. The success rate is the same. And the benefit is that you get to keep your own money. You don't have to pay a fee, because the reason why, why is that the case? The reason why is you're the biggest expert on your home, and we make our decisions on appeals based on the data that's presented to us. So who better to give us information on your home than the world's greatest expert on your home, you. And our analysts will fairly look at the data that's presented to us, and you're given a chance to tell a narrative about why your home might not be the average home, why it might be below average, or it has other features that detract from its value. And really that's a lot more insightful and useful to our analysts than a lawyer just pulling data off of a spreadsheet, which we already run these filters before we send them out. So that's why homeowners have just as good a chance as someone who charges a fee.
And boss, I'm glad you said that because I know that there's this common misconception that attorneys have secret code words, secret handshakes, secret connections. And I know that that is not tolerated at the Cook County Assessor's Office.
And people sometimes
all
try
about
to
transparency. We're all about.
they try to imply this in mailing. That I'm a homeowner here. I'm coming to you from my home in Oak Park because I'm a little bit under the weather. But a lot of people will send you mail suggesting they have an inside track, and it's not true. Be skeptical, just as you would any other solicitation. And you're the world's greatest expert on your own home. And so we're here. We provide the service for free, and we provide events like this where you can ask any question you want.
I think you completely answered that question to perfection. Great job. You sound like you know what you're doing, right? Appreciate it.
Well,
how the next
what you're doing. So.
No, because I know the narrative, right? Oh, we're this, we're that. Guys, this is what we do. This is what we do every day. We work for the people. We try to make sure we take care of the people. We want it as fair as humanly possible. So that's good. The next question comes from Chicago KEZ. How is a townhome classified condo, or townhome classified ? Condo ? Single family? I could take this one if you want, boss, or we can just bounce back off, whatever you want to do.
Go ahead, Hector.
Yeah. So your PIN number has 14 different digits, and those digits matter, right? So if PIN number ends in 00040, that automatically lets you know it is not a condo. Condos end in a different combination of 4 numbers: 1, 2, 3, 4, 1722, different sets. So that's how that's done. A townhome is classified, just honestly, it depends. It's going to be classified as residential, so it's a class 2, and then depending on what size it is, that's where the classes come in. So we do have a link to our property classes. Hopefully somebody can take that link and just throw it into the comments. But if you have any other questions, we also have a general contact that comes directly. So it's not lost in the cloud, it's not lost in the internet. It comes directly to us that we can go into more depth if you want us to. Sorry, I'm sick too, boss. The next question is, do we need PIN numbers of neighbors to use for comparables? If so, how do we find them? So great question. We actually went over this earlier. You do not need to know the PIN numbers of your neighbors. What you can do is on our website, as soon as you go to cookcountyassessor.com, you can search properties by PIN number or search properties by addresses. So if you don't have the PIN number, just go ahead and put in the address. The PIN number will then come in. But again, you don't need to do that to find the comparables. Remember, on the online system, there's actually a program embedded within the system that helps you find comparables. So I hope that works.
And I would just add that in
your
appeal, don't forget to fill in the section with the narrative about your own home, because that's actually oftentimes it's more useful to our analysts than the comparables that you provide, because we look at comparables in a bunch of different ways, and we're going to look at every different angle to find the one that's most favorable to you, whether you provide it to us or not. But the thing that we don't know is that narrative about your home. So make sure you give us some information.
Great job, boss. The next one, first of all, these last 3 questions have been YouTube questions. So they're worth 20 points. So I love when we get questions from YouTube, because people don't go to YouTube to watch property taxes. They go to YouTube to watch things that they actually want to watch. So this is awesome. The next question is from Kate B. Tried to book an appointment with the township assessor today and was told that they are booked solid through the appeal timeframe. Is that true? So Kate, unfortunately, your specific township, Orland Township Assessor's Office, doesn't work. They're not employed under the Cook County Assessor's Office. They are their own separate agency. They are their own elected officials. They kind of are like a liaison between our office and you as a taxpayer. So we have no control over their structure, over their booking system, over their appointments. What you can do is make an appointment in one of our offices. We have 4 different locations. We have one downtown, one in Markham Courthouse, one in Bridgeview Courthouse, and we have one at the Skokie Courthouse. So you can absolutely take advantage of that as well.
Yep, and you can book online so that you don't have to wait in line. And we're ready to hear to help you. We know your township assessor, Rich Kelly, is good. He gets slammed with work when the appeal season is on, so I can understand why his appointments might be full. But we at the assessor's office, the ones who are going to be reading your appeal, can take your appointment.
Absolutely. On to the next question. I know you like answering these kind of questions, boss. Lori says, thank you. Is there any way I can estimate what my tax bill will be based on this new assessment? My property value went up over $160,000, so I'm assuming it will be excessive.
A great question, Lori. And actually, I didn't get a chance to address this at the outset because this is one of the most important things to let people know about. If your assessment changes by, say, 30%, it almost never means that your tax changes by 30%. Actually, in the city of Chicago last year, there were hundreds of thousands of people whose assessment went up double-digit in percentage terms, but their bill went down. The reason why is that a change in your assessment is not the only factor that contributes to determining your share of the taxes to be paid in your community. It's how your assessment is changing relative to the overall change in assessed value in your community, because you're all sharing in the taxes that are determined by your schools, by your village, and by others. So if your assessment is going up 30% while the overall village's assessment is going up 30%, there probably would be only a very small change in your bill, and it could go up or down. The most important thing and I wish it was simpler than this. In a lot of places in the country, it is simpler. You have a fixed rate, but here our rates are not fixed. They float. And the good news is that it limits how much taxes can be raised in any community in any individual year. The disadvantage is it makes it hard to predict. What we do is we give you lots of information that you can go to our website and see how much overall assessed value went up in Orland Township through our first round of assessments, and it looks like it would be in the mid-30s. And so that's an important context to remember. The most important thing you can do is make sure that your assessment reflects the value of your home, and that then you're taking advantage of all the other exemptions and other aspects of due process, making sure that assessment is correct through the appeals process.
You said it well, boss. And I also just want to let everybody here know, if you disagree with the value of your home, that's why we have these appeal setups. I'm so sorry. That's why we have these appeal setups, right? We have a way for you to say, hey, guys, I don't think you did this correctly. Can you please double check? It's kind of a checks and balances. So if you disagree with the value our office has set, file your appeal. We both, the assessor and I, would love to sit up here and say we got it right 100% of the time. But that is not the case. That's why we have these appeal sessions. So again, we want to thank you guys for being here. Boss, do you want to send us off before we done? Because we answered all the questions that are in the queue.
Well, I know everyone is busy. You got other things to do on a. You have other things to do on a beautiful. Can you hear me there, Hector?
Yes.
Okay, well, everyone has a lot to do on a beautiful summer night, so we don't want to detain you. There is a lot more on our website. If you go to cookcountyassessor.com and go to the data section, you can look under the valuation reports for more information on how things went in Orland, and you can read much more. You can read how much overall assessed value is up in your community. You can look at the different neighborhoods within Orland and you can see the ranges and the transactions that we looked at. There's a lot for you to look at there. Also, we'll have this seminar up on our website so that everyone can look back and get information from the workshop. But don't hesitate to ask questions. Reach out to us on social media, on our website. Make an appointment. You can give us a call, and we want to hear from you. We're here to help. So thank you, everyone, and have a good night.
Thank you, guys. You guys have a great night. We do have one more question that just popped up last minute. So I'm going to take it really quick. It's Kieran. What is the base of 38% increased in value? It's unbelievable. You don't see this in any business. It has this much increased at one time. So keep in mind, Kieran, that you guys get reassessed every 3 years. So this increase is not from 1 year to the next. It's for the past 3 years, potentially even longer than that, depending on what's actually happening in your township. So again, if you disagree with the value of your property, of your reassessment, you can go ahead and file your appeal. But we want to thank you all for being here. Thank you so much for spending your time with us tonight. Spending time with the assessors. We're both under the weather, but we showed up for you guys. We want to make sure you guys know that your voices are being heard, that you guys is that you have our attention, right? So thank you guys for being here. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you're here with us. You guys have a great night. I'm going to take some medicine. The assessor's going to take some medicine, and we're going to get better so we can keep it going. All right?
Absolutely.
Great night.
Yes. And Kiran, go and look at our website if you want to get more information. You can see that the average home in Orland in 2018 sold for $280,000 and then sold for $360,000 last year. So real estate prices tend to go up, but remember, that doesn't mean your taxes go up by that same percentage because everyone's value is going up at the same time. So you can read more on the website. All right, Hector and I, we're going to get some medicine and get a little bit of rest. I hope you do too. We're here to help, and please look us up.
You guys have a good night. Be safe.